shot.
Let's try the reaction shot. I've never done reactions before. Excited. My first reaction video. We can make it all Japanesey.
There you go.
That's delicious.
It's good?
It's pretty. The gravy doesn't really mash it so much.
Not at all. How does it compare to Soul House in Azerbaijan?
Soul House is better.
Soul House is better. How does it compare to Roscoe's?
Better waffles.
Better
for sure.
bread, right? Yeah, I think so.
Soul House got a lot better bread. All the flavors stronger in Soul House. Dry.
Yeah, that's what I was trying to say, yeah. Roscoe's Chicken and Waffles?
Waffles.
Oh, shit. Oh, shit.
I hate Roscoe's now. I used to love it, but...
And the craziest point, guys, I just want to point out is like, this place is primarily women. All women eating this. They had some, it's done. This place is primarily women, and they all are eating these chicken and waffles.
Oh, it's delicious.
And they want some black in them. I could help with that. So those tickets sold out in like 2-3 minutes, 7 different locations. Oh my God. Whew. Whatever it takes. I'm running to the convenience store right now to submit my payment. I got a hold on it. Whatever it takes. Yeah, you're watching the Weekly Wednesday What's Up, the section of my channel where I tell you everything that's going on in my life. It was a restful Wednesday today. Sometimes you just need to calm the fuck down and chill out and do a few things. I woke up early and then I fell asleep. I went back to sleep and woke up around 3 o'clock. Got ready. I acquired my tickets to the 5th showing of Endgame and the midnight showing of Spider-Man Far From Home. They're doing a double feature, and I had planned to see Endgame one last time before it's pulled from theaters. I guess in America it got pulled already, and now they're going to re-release it on the 28th, which is a little strange for me, but in the States, that's a whole different deal. They've been showing it non-stop in Japan for the last 2 months, or almost 2 months now, so it ain't no thing. But in Japan, we're actually doing a big celebration where the final showing, you're gonna get like a t-shirt where they're like, it's the last showing. Over where I'm going, they're gonna be showing it on 6 different screens, and then immediately after that, they're doing a midnight showing for Far From Home, which is, believe it or not, that's actually really rare. In Japan to be doing midnight showings. They only do it for a few movies. Endgame was one of them, but Star Wars is another one. That's it. But I think Disney has really started to get behind some other types of showings. They don't do it for every movie because not every movie makes it out here, actually. Especially horror films. I still haven't seen A Quiet Place or Get Out. No, I rented Get Out, but they never released it largely out here. Brightburn still hasn't come out, or I don't even know if it ever will. John Wick comes out in a few months. John Wick 3? Yeah, John Wick comes out in 4 more months, believe it or not. I could rent it by then. I get it on Netflix. I don't know. So that's what's going on today. I was able to get my tickets. I'll be seeing it in MX4DX or MX4D, moving chairs, all that. Dante and I are going. It cost me about $60 or so, and that's 2 showing. That's 2 movies. For Japan, that's not bad. And then that actually knocks out my idea. I'll be watching it next week, actually. Next Thursday, we'll be at the midnight showing, so we'll still be seeing it earlier than most of the world, which is great. Finally. And then on top of that, I was talking with my engineer here. It can be a little discouraging. To be on this island by myself. And I've told you this many times before, like, when I'm alone and just working on YouTube, it's so easy to get discouraged and because you never really have any sort of support. Nobody's really like backing you and telling you that you're doing the right thing, and there's obviously a lot of pressure in Japan. I've talked about this before about living in Japan. Like it's starting to change, and it changed a lot when it got better when I moved to Tokyo. But for the most part, Japan is still very numb or blank to this idea of being a YouTuber or having a career as a YouTuber, because a lot of them just don't really know how it works. And it's weird because I don't know if it's like that in America. It's so strange because the people around me, or the people that I know as YouTubers, they generally have people around them that support them or try to be part of their life or try to be on the channel and be around them. Like Drew is a good example at Ekomog. He always has people that wants to be on the channel with him and things like that. And Greg, Jabby, even Tyrone, all the people that I know, they just have people around them. And for me, it's always just kind of this floating island type of thing, and I'm always like struggling to try to get people to stick with it. And I know a lot of it just has to do with the fact that people got to make money somehow. People got to do things that pay out immediately. And if being on this channel doesn't pay out immediately, then it's hard to keep continuously doing it. And I get that. So YouTube's a interesting thing because I do feel that a good amount of people do get rewarded for being genuine, like Blind Wave. Those are just five guys that were getting together watching, or four guys originally, then five guys that were getting together just watching stuff and having fun with it, but they got really lucky and they were able to turn that into a successful business that allowed all of them to quit their job. But and they'll tell you whenever I am able to find the time to get the second half of that interview out, is like nobody, people in their family really were trying to get them to quit and telling them not to do that. And I think that's the kind of hard part of the dark side of doing YouTube and doing YouTube for so long is, somebody asked me just recently, why don't you just quit? Or is it really worth it? You're always so tired. Why don't you just stop doing it if it's so tiring? But I think the thing to keep in mind is a lot of people get at a certain point. Like I think of what was his name? Yes sir, or ahoy. The guy with the mustache. Andrew. What was his name on YouTube? Andrew, Drew. He changed it to something else. You know who I'm talking about, right? Really cool dude. Really cool dude. But then he gave up. He had a mental breakdown and just really completely gave up on his YouTube career and things like that. I can't really remember his screen name anymore. If anybody knows, let me know below. His name was Andrew. He had the mustache and everything, right? And I remember he had a mental breakdown several times and had to just give up YouTube. But the thing I was going to keep in mind, was trying to remind people, is that when you get to a certain level, you can't turn it off. Like I'm always flashing back. The Batman animated series that came out was all computer related. There were a lot of good charms in that show. A lot of people didn't like it, but there was one thing I really liked about him was the fact that I think Katana one time asked him, can't you just turn it off or something like that? Can't you just stop being like that? And he's like, I can't. I've tried. And he's like, I wish I could. I wish I could turn it off. I wish I could turn that mentality off, that feeling off, but it's always going to be part of him or something like that. And I think that's the thing about, and I think about what Scott Ackerman once said, Unrested, about how YouTube is somewhat of, it's just a method for addicts. It's a method for a therapeutic release for a lot of people. And yes, it can be tiring, but at the same time, it's generally a creative output for a lot of people to go one on one. And I've said this about Boogie 26 some 38 is I've always been inspired by him and the way he portrays himself in his videos. A lot of his stuff is, it's still cut, but I still feel like it's really coming from the heart without any takes. And that's what I think is really cool about his particular style. I tend to just do everything in one shot, one take Drake, and just get it up there. But I also hope that people recognize that as well. What else? So, anyways, the main point is I can't stop. I won't stop. But I try to, I've been trying forever to balance things out. And there was a time where, I used to just run to react to something. And I started giving that more breaks now. So now I don't really care about uploading things a few days later. Those that really want it will wait to see it. And I don't really, I think I only make the exception now for like huge trailers, Marvel, or something that DC will put out that I know I gotta just get out there. Other things, it doesn't pay off as much as it used to anymore. And so that it is what it is. But I'm still very satisfied where we are. Talking about something else, last week I was talking about how 85K salary, some fucking people got so mad, and you're like, Akasan, that really sounds, I've changed my opinion about you. I don't fucking make that money, motherfucker. Like, I was asking because, anyways, watch the fucking video. If for those that got offended last time, and that's what was really annoying about that is like these people were making videos, like making comments, and I'm like, did you watch the whole video? They're like, oh man, my bad. Nah, man, I got it on my watch list. I'm about to watch it, or whatever. I'm like, then don't fucking comment like that. Like, people are so like. These last couple of videos I've made for the Weekly Wednesday What's Up has been proving my fucking point about YouTube in general, is that people will just comment to comment and don't actually watch the actual heartfelt video of people like really getting information out there for you guys. Yes, we have to make sometimes clickbaity titles, but you look like a fucking fool when you make comments without the context involved. Yeah. Anyways. So the point is, so I've had a few business meetings this week, and I've actually brought up with my students as well about the whole 85K situation. And thank you, everybody, the real people out there, the realest people that actually gave me information about how in certain areas, yes, 85K is below average income. It's not for everywhere. But in the main parts of America, 85K is below average in terms of having that life, that good life, right? So I make around 33K with my regular job, and I think we already talked about this. So 35, and then like YouTube has to be around, sadly, only like 3K a year or something, maybe 5K if I'm lucky. Patreon has definitely helped much more. And so, the idea is the future. How do I secure a better future for myself, for the people around me that stick with me, get a house, future children, things like that? How do you secure a good life about that? Because YouTube ain't about to, unless I start making a family channel, which seems to be the most popular way, make a family YouTube channel raising kids online, like the Truman Show or something like that, which obviously if I haven't even included my girlfriend, then I'm not including my family and such for now. Then how do you do that? And so I found that the IT field and real estate have really been the way a lot of people have done this. And so, I've been researching and investigating about changing my career in terms of instead of being an English teacher, looking into doing IT. So I had a meeting with a few IT friends, and they definitely get paid twice, uh, twice, a little more than twice as much as I get paid. And then, but the problem is the big the big sacrifice is gonna have to take is one of my friends, she warned me that if I change ships, if I jump ships and I move into the IT world, I no longer have that creative freedom that I did with English teaching, or that I do with English teaching. And then on top of that, I may not like. I'm just gonna be dead tired every day, and that was the problem I was having when I first started YouTube, because I had a full-time gig teaching kids, but it was like early in the morning till late at night. And I'd come home and be like, "Hey guys, here's my video," like that, and people didn't understand that. They couldn't understand why I was so tired. It's changed now, and it's gotten much better now. But to go back to that situation, there was another offer I got working retail at a very popular technology store that a lot of people visit. And there's an offer there. But the bigger problem with that one was the fact that I would be on the floor all the time, like selling. And I've never actually had a problem with that. I actually enjoy that, having face to face time. The bigger issue at this point now is the fact that, and there's a few articles I read about this in the past. It's like, if you've already been online for so long and you have this particular personality, you have people that will run into you, and you're selling stuff. You're trying to sell stuff, but they're gonna be like, "Akasan, what? Are you doing a video? Or are you doing some sort of gig or something like that, right?" And I'm like, "Yeah, nah, man, I'm just selling cell phones here. You want to buy?" Like, this is my job, and it's not a big enough of a problem to diffuse that particular situation, right? But all it takes is for one person to say, "Oh man, I know where Akasan works," and then that's where it becomes kind of an issue, because could you just imagine somebody coming in and, like, let's say for instance I'm working at fucking Rock 10. Rock 10 is like Amazon. They have a retail store. Somebody comes into Rock 10 and be like, "Yo, Akasan, what the fuck you mean you didn't like the Snyder Cut?" I'd like to see the fool that would fucking pay thousands of dollars just to fly to Japan just to do that, but you never know, man. There's some weird fucking people like that. Oh my god. Adam Havoc got some death threats recently, or his partner's got some from somebody that works in WB and shit. Oh man, there's some crazy motherfuckers out there. I ain't about to put people at risk for that shit. That's exactly why my girlfriend is not on camera. Anyways, there was one more thing I was going to talk about. So, in better news, my engineer and I, Nettie, we were talking about what we're going to do in the next couple months, in terms of, I want to increase my streaming and gameplay. And so, I think I'm going to build a new computer. Because I tried to do it with the current computer I have right now, but it's not working out in terms of, I'm always maximizing this computer for editing and having all the stuff going for Patreon, full reactions. So I just never have time and a proper setup for streaming. So therefore, what I've was thinking was, let's just go ahead and I might just build a new computer. And I know it's not really popular anymore to do that shit, like build your own computer type of thing, but fuck it, we might just do it anyway. So I created a new wish list, and I'll put that down below, about computers. It's called Project Red Dreaded Computer, and we're trying to build a new, I don't even know what this shit is called. I'm just gonna read some stuff out to you guys. It's all right here. Is there a way I can't even tell if it's going to be in focus or not, but yeah. So gaming, GeoForce, RT, none of this shit makes sense to me. The Cosar Carbonite, that makes sense, right? The RAF cooler, so we're thinking about getting a cooler or some shit. I don't know. Anyways, like none of this shit makes sense to me. I understand when he explains it to me, but I wouldn't know the shit what's good and what's not. AMD, he was saying something about AMD is good. Whatever. Like I'm not even gonna try to explain it to you guys, but all right. I'm gonna leave a list. I'm gonna leave the list to the wish list, and let me know if there's something that you guys think I should be investing in instead for a nice badass computer. He says he can do it for me for about $1,000. Good for streaming. Or what we're actually thinking is we might just convert this one more into a streaming only type of computer, and then the parts that we buy from the other one we invest that, because this computer's already 3 years old now, and so this one becomes the streaming computer, but the other one with the heavy processor would be the one for continual editing and things like that for Patreon and YouTube. So that is what we are thinking, my friends. All right, guys, you guys take care of yourselves. Thank you so much for rapping with me, and I will talk to you next week on a weekly Wednesday. What's up? Peace, y'all.